In the fascinating country of Jordan, a collection of small lead and copper books has recently been discovered, igniting the curiosity of scientists and scholars alike. These unique artifacts consist of 70 miniature volumes, each containing inscriptions and symbols that have the potential to offer valuable insights into the life and teachings of Christ. However, their authenticity remains a subject of debate, and the fact that many of the books are sealed presents a challenge to conducting thorough examinations. Nevertheless, the study of these books holds significant promise in unraveling the historical foundations of the Christian faith. Join us on an exploration of these ancient treasures as we delve into their potential significance in understanding the origins of Christianity. The collection comprises a total of 70 lead books, each no larger than a credit card, bound together by metal rings that connect the pages. Christian scholars and historians are already buzzing with excitement about the wealth of information that these books may reveal to believers and skeptics alike. Some of the books have already undergone analysis, unveiling symbols, images, and words that allude to the crucifixion and resurrection of the Messiah. These tiny books have the potential to reshape our understanding of Christian history, much like the profound impact of the discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls in 1947. While the exact purpose of these books remains unclear, they contain references to individuals named Jesus and Simon. The mention of Simon in these books leaves historians with two possible interpretations. Simon could refer to the man who assisted the Messiah in carrying his cross on the way to his crucifixion, or it could indicate Simon bar Kokhsbi, the leader of a major rebellion against Rome in 135 CE. This ambiguity leads historians to view these books as incredibly ancient artifacts, possibly dating back thousands of years. In fact, these books have already garnered attention on Wikipedia, where they are referred to as codices. The presence of symbols, religious names, and numerous sealed books within the collection has led scholars to speculate that these may be the lost codices mentioned in the Book of Revelation. Discovered within a cave in the remote regions of Jordan, previous excavations in this area have yielded significant historical documents. Christian refugees once sought shelter in this region after the fall of Jerusalem in 70 AD. The findings prior to this recent discovery included tablets, artifacts, scrolls, and an incense bowl. However, the unearthing of a book that sheds further light on existing Christian scriptures came as a surprising revelation. Among the symbols found in these books are depictions of palm trees and the Jewish menorah. The inscriptions on the metallic pages are written in Paleo-Hebrew, a language that predates the birth of Christ by 1,000 years. Upon further analysis, fragments of Aramaic, the most widely spoken language during the time of Jesus, were also identified. The presence of these two languages suggests a temporal gap between the writing of the books. Additionally, scholars have discovered traces of Greek characters within the tiny books. A breakthrough in the interpretation of the texts came when Dr. Samuel Zinner, a member of the evaluation panel, recognized two key Hebrew characters that unlocked the mystery of reading the texts. These characters were arranged in a grid and could be read diagonally, from top to bottom, left to right, and right to left. This discovery enabled the evaluation team to successfully decipher portions of the texts. As the evaluation of the remaining portions of the books continued, Jewish symbols such as the 7-branched lamps, a bowl of temple offerings, 8-pointed stars, and an unusually tilted cross came to light. Amidst these symbols and characters, a shocking revelation awaited within the pages of the book, a portrait of Jesus, the first of its kind ever discovered. Researchers speculate that this drawing could have been created by an individual who lived during the earthly lifetime of Jesus. The portrayal depicts the Messiah with a crown of thorns upon his forehead. Adjacent to the portrait of Jesus lies a text that unequivocally reads, "Savior of Israel." One of the most striking representations found within the books is that of the 7-branched lamps. This depiction is considered forbidden in Judaism, as the 7-branched menorah is a sacred object exclusively associated with Jewish worship. It resided only in one place, the Holy of Holies inside the temple, and only the high priest was permitted to gaze upon it. Researchers find it perplexing that an object regarded as God's own furniture could be depicted and illustrated by someone other than the Jewish high priest. The presence of this forbidden depiction of the menorah may explain why many of the tiny books were sealed away, as it contained an image that was not meant for public consumption. In March 2011, David Elkington, a researcher involved in the investigation, released a press statement claiming ownership of the books. This discovery marked a significant milestone in his career, as he believed that these books could potentially be one of the most significant findings in Christian history. However, skepticism regarding the authenticity of the books arose, particularly from the Jordanian authorities who had encountered similar types of artifacts in the past. As a result, the Jordanian Department of Antiquities confiscated the collection and launched an investigation to determine their authenticity. The authenticity of the lead books remains a subject of debate among experts. Some scholars and archaeologists express doubts regarding their origin and age. They argue that the books could be modern forgeries or hoaxes, created with the intention of deceiving scholars and profiting from their sale. Critics point to the inconsistencies in the language, the unusual mix of symbols, and the lack of provenance as reasons to question their authenticity. On the other hand, proponents of the book's authenticity argue that they exhibit features consistent with ancient artifacts. They highlight the presence of Paleo-Hebrew and Aramaic, the use of ancient metals and binding techniques, and the discovery of Jewish and Christian symbols as evidence supporting their genuineness. These proponents believe that the books may have been part of an early Christian community's religious texts or personal writings. To settle the debate, extensive scientific testing and analysis are necessary. Researchers would need to conduct thorough examinations of the materials, including radiocarbon dating, ink analysis, and paleographic studies of the inscriptions. Furthermore, unsealing the remaining books could provide additional information and potentially resolve questions about their authenticity. However, opening the sealed books poses a significant challenge since it requires delicate techniques to preserve their contents without causing damage. The discovery of the lead and copper books in Jordan has sparked both excitement and skepticism within the scholarly community. While some believe that these artifacts have the potential to shed new light on the origins of Christianity, others question their authenticity. Further scientific analysis and research are necessary to determine the true nature and significance of these intriguing ancient books. The 9 groups of scholars embarked on an intensive endeavor, meticulously planning and executing a series of tests on the enigmatic tiny books made of metal. Their primary objective was to determine the age of the metal itself, as it held the key to unraveling the origins and authenticity of the inscriptions found on the surface. The scholars understood that if the metal could be proven to be as old as believed, it would strongly suggest that the writings on it were likely inscribed around the same time period. To begin their investigation, the scholars focus on observing the presence of active radiation emanating from the metal. They knew that if the metal exhibited no active radiation, it would unequivocally establish that it was not a product of the modern era. Professor Webb, one of the esteemed researchers involved in the testing process, elucidated that lead naturally contains a radioactive isotope that gradually decays over time after being mined. Furthermore, lead can be reactivated through exposure to radioactive polonium present in the air. Professor Webb went on to explain that since the release of the first atomic bomb in 1945, all metals forged worldwide have contained radioactive polonium. This is due to the lingering presence of radioactive polonium in the atmosphere resulting from that historical event. Therefore, if the tiny lead books showed no traces of radioactive polonium, it would indicate that they were created more than 100 years ago, predating the year 1945. The test results astoundingly confirmed that the lead books were entirely free of radioactive polonium. This finding was substantiated by further metallurgical analysis conducted by the University of Surrey, which concluded that the lead used in the books was unquestionably not less than 100 years old. These combined results left no room for doubt regarding the possibility of modern forgery. Despite the skepticism expressed by some regarding the authenticity of these books as mere forgeries, recent tests have strongly pointed to the fact that the leads used in the books are consistent with ancient Roman lead and date back to more than 100 years ago. Notably, the composition of the lead used in the books differs significantly from modern lead, and its unique characteristics had never been encountered or studied before. The leads were found to be highly impure, easily prone to fracturing, unlike the durability of modern leads. Under the scrutiny of microscopes, the leads revealed distinct signs of significant aging. Crystalline impurities clung to the surface, and microscopic holes were apparent within the material. These processes of aging typically take 1800 years or more to manifest. Consequently, It can be reasonably concluded that the lead books were indeed written by early Christians in the 1st century. The book's authenticity has been firmly established, rendering them worthy subjects of thorough study by scholars and researchers eager to delve into the information shared by early Christians. Now that the tiny lead books have been irrefutably proven to be genuine rather than forged, it naturally leads to the next question of why they were created in the first place. Unveiling the purpose behind the book's creation, numerous scholars have grappled with the enigma of why these codices were written and what information the early church sought to convey and preserve through them. Many of the books were intentionally sealed, signifying an intention to safeguard their contents. This has piqued the curiosity of researchers, prompting them to delve deeper into the motivations behind their creation. The presence of binding rings on all 4 sides of the books has led some researchers to propose that these books were not meant to be studied, but rather treated as talismans or objects of significance. They argue that the specific forms of certain letters suggest that they were written after 135 CE, but it is plausible that the content of those letters had been copied from older sources. It becomes evident that these books were intended to be preserved, passed down from one generation to another. As scholars delved into the contents of the lead books, they were captivated by the discoveries they made. Philip Davies, a professor emeritus of biblical studies at Sheffield University, was particularly astounded when he encountered an image that bore a striking resemblance to Christian symbolism. He noted the presence of a cross in the foreground, with a depiction of what appeared to be the tomb of Jesus behind it. Adjacent to the tomb, a small building with an opening was depicted, followed by the walls of a city. Davies observed similar illustrations of walls on other pages of the book, which bore a stark resemblance to the city of Jerusalem. He surmised that the imagery portrayed a Christian crucifixion occurring outside the city walls, while scholars strive to comprehend the meaning embedded within these books. There is also a concern that the Israeli custodian of the books may attempt to sell parts of them on the black market or even destroy them. However, these concerns have not deterred the ongoing analysis and examination of the tiny lead books. Dr. Margaret Barker, the former president of the Society for Old Testament Study, supports the notion that the Book of Revelation speaks of a sealed book that can only be opened by the Messiah. She further explains that other texts from the same period mention sealed books of wisdom and a secret tradition passed down by Jesus to his closest disciples. In Dr. Barker's view, this provides the context for the discovery of the lead books, and she suggests that they likely have a Hebrew Christian origin. She believes that these codices have the potential to shed new light on a significant yet poorly understood period of history. David Elkington shares Dr. Barker's sentiments, emphasizing the importance of recovering the entire collection and ensuring its secure preservation under optimal conditions. He recognizes that this would benefit both the owners of the books and the potentially fascinated international audience eager to explore their contents. After extensive study and analysis, scholars and researchers have reached a compelling conclusion regarding the purpose of the tiny lead books. They assert that these books, made of lead, were written as powerful testimonials. They served as weighty documents that bore witness to the truth preached by the Messiah himself. Thorough examination of the book's contents has led researchers to deduce that the characters and imagery within were intended to inform people, both in the past and present, about the imminent arrival of a great messianic king. This king would bring liberation to his people, freeing them from oppression. The words contained within the book speak of forthcoming liberation from the current world, release from the burden of paying taxes to Caesar, and the prospect of the Savior's imminent global dominion. The significance of these revelations cannot be overstated. Scholars and researchers continue to delve into the depths of these tiny lead books, uncovering the profound messages they convey and striving to unravel the mysteries they hold. The meticulous efforts of these dedicated individuals have brought us closer to understanding the beliefs and teachings of early Christians, shedding light on a pivotal period in history that was previously shrouded in uncertainty. As the journey of exploration unfolds, it is crucial to ensure the preservation and safekeeping of these invaluable artifacts. They represent a tangible link to the past, offering glimpses into the minds and convictions of those who came before us. The tiny lead books have emerged from the shadows of skepticism and uncertainty, now standing as authentic witnesses to the faith and aspirations of early Christians. Their enduring legacy invites us to continue our pursuit of knowledge and understanding, to unravel the secrets they hold, and to appreciate the profound impact they may have on our perception of history and spirituality. In the realm of ancient artifacts, a remarkable discovery has captured the attention of scholars and historians alike. These intriguing findings come in the form of metallic books, unearthed from the depths of the distant past. While some of these discoveries were revealed to be clever manipulations or forgeries, a select few have undergone rigorous scrutiny and emerged as genuine relics of antiquity. Among these are the enigmatic tiny lead books, which have recently been the subject of intensive research and analysis by renowned scholar Dr. Margaret Barker. Having devoted a significant portion of her career to the study of ancient texts, Dr. Barker brings a wealth of expertise and experience to the examination of these diminutive lead books discovered in Jordan. She has meticulously examined these tiny artifacts, delving into the depths of their contents and shedding light on their mysterious nature. However, the pages of these lead books pose a formidable challenge, as many have succumbed to the ravages of time and corrosion, rendering the inscriptions and writings on them nearly indecipherable. Despite this obstacle, Dr. Barker has managed to identify a few pages that retain legible characters and illustrations. She emphasizes that the decipherment of these pages will require the collaborative efforts of future researchers. The lead books themselves are incredibly small, bearing a striking resemblance in size to modern credit or debit cards. This compact form only adds to their enigmatic allure. In a moment of revelation, Dr. Barker unveils the contents of one of the tested lead books, emphatically asserting that it could not have been fabricated within the last century. The writings and diagrams inscribed on the pages are cast onto the metallic lead, creating a distinct raised effect. In order to modify or alter any character, a recasting process in the lead tablet would be necessary. Consequently, the copies held by Dr. Barker and her team of scholars can be considered either the original artifacts or exact replicas. With great anticipation, Dr. Barker proceeds to read aloud 2 pages from the lead tablets. She describes one of the pages as featuring a menorah with sprouting leaves at its base, a page she dubs the oracle page. The subsequent page showcases a stylized drawing of a bee, occupying the space equivalent to that of a bank card. This second page is aptly referred to as the bee page. Venturing further into her exploration, Dr. Barker turns her attention to a larger book, approximately the size of 2 bank cards. Opening its pages, she encounters a depiction of a menorah with branches extending in a different manner, accompanied by rows of crosses at the page's bottom. Initially, the intricate layout of diagrams and characters on these metal books confounded observers, leading many to dismiss them as mere collections of magical words or talismans. However, a breakthrough came when Dr. Samuel Zinner, a colleague of Dr. Barker, discerned that certain words were not arranged in linear fashion, but rather in triangles and clusters. Upon further investigation, Dr. Barker discovered that some letters represented multiple letters of the Hebrew alphabet, unraveling a significant piece of the lead book's cryptic puzzle. Guided by the writings of Ben Sira, a Jewish writer from Jerusalem around 200 BCE, Dr. Barker found valuable insights that aided her in deciphering the mystery. Ben Sira's words emphasized the presence of pairs and opposites in the works of God. Building upon this foundation, Dr. Barker realized that certain simple words organized in triangles possessed exact mirror images that formed meaningful pairs. Furthermore, she gained a deeper understanding of archaic letters, representing multiple letters of the later Hebrew alphabet. As Dr. Barker continued her analysis, she also discerned patterns on the oracle page that adhered to a system of pairs. Each word within these patterns had a precise mirror image, following the pattern around the shape in an identical sequence. Dr. Barker proceeds to disclose the presence of 21 such patterns on the oracle page, unveiling the intricate manner in which they were constructed. In fact, she estimates that the oracle page alone contains up to 200 patterns. Drawing upon her extensive knowledge, Dr. Barker suggests that the information contained within this page mirrors what was seen in Solomon's temple, the first temple in Israel. She posits that the priests and prophets, following their exile from Solomon's temple, rewrote this information in pattern form within the lead books. The content preserved within these lead tablets offers a window into the worldview of the ancient priesthood, providing insight into their contemporary circumstances and their hopes for the future. Many of the writings find their roots in the book of Isaiah. Dr. Barker also reveals that the patterns on the oracle page describe the ascension of Adam, the Holy Spirit, Eden, and the Messiah into heaven. Remarkably, the lead books contain elements of complex geometry that bear resemblance to an earlier form of what is now known as Pythagoras' theorem. The B page, on the other hand, showcases the names of prophets who resided in exile east of the River Jordan. These writings serve as a repository of the ancient wisdom held by these individuals, with both the oracle and B pages featuring patterns that illustrate the prophets' experiences of exile and their memories of the holy city, Jerusalem. Additionally, the lead books shed light on the original priests of the temple, revealing an intriguing connection to the realm of metalworking. It becomes evident that the priests themselves were skilled metalworkers, a fact that had often been lost or overlooked in translation throughout the Hebrew scriptures. The Hebrew word for refining metals, saraph, frequently appears in the scriptures, symbolizing an item of judgment. Drawing from these scriptures, it becomes apparent that the Lord is depicted as a refiner, employing terminology such as smelting away drosses in Isaiah 125 and refining them as one refines silver in Zechariah 13. In Malachi 3:3, similar metalworking language is employed, describing the Lord as a refiner and purifier of silver, tasked with purifying the sons of Levi. Notably, Isaiah's vision within the temple, as described in Isaiah 6, includes the presence of seraphim. However, upon utilizing the double letters found within the lead books, it is discovered that these seraphim could also be interpreted as smelters. Although the Hebrew words for seraph and smelter are spelled differently, the oracle page of the lead books presents them with identical spelling. A thought-provoking incident involving Isaiah comes to mind. It is recorded that a seraph touched a hot coal to Isaiah's lips, prompting speculation regarding the possibility that this angelic being may have been a smelter. Furthermore, the mention of Aaron, a metal worker who utilized precious metals to create the golden calf and later the furnishings in the tabernacle, further reinforces the connection between the priesthood and metalworking. In conclusion, the discovery of these remarkable metallic books from the distant past has opened a window into a bygone era. Dr. Margaret Barker's diligent examination of the lead books has offered invaluable insights into their contents, despite the challenges posed by corrosion and deterioration. Through careful analysis and collaboration with fellow scholars, Dr. Barker has succeeded in deciphering patterns, pairs, and mirror images within the lead books, shedding light on their enigmatic nature. The pages of the lead books contain a treasure trove of information, reflecting the ancient worldview of the priesthood and their aspirations for the future. These texts draw inspiration from the book of Isaiah, detailing the journeys of Adam, the Holy Spirit, Eden, and the Messiah. Additionally, the lead books exhibit elements of complex geometry and preserve the wisdom of prophets living in exile. Moreover, the lead books reveal an intriguing connection between the original priests of the temple and the art of metalworking. Words associated with metalworking, often lost in translation, are found throughout the Hebrew scriptures. The presence of seraphim, traditionally associated with angelic beings, takes on a new interpretation within the context of the lead books, suggesting a correlation with smelters. These extraordinary discoveries challenge long-held assumptions and offer a fresh perspective on the ancient texts and traditions. The lead books serve as a testament to the ingenuity and intellectual pursuits of our ancestors, urging us to delve deeper into the mysteries of the past and unravel the secrets they hold. In ancient times, the tabernacle held great significance as a sacred space where the people of Israel worshiped their God. It was constructed with exquisite craftsmanship, made entirely of gold. The metal workers responsible for creating this magnificent structure were not mere artisans. They were also priests, entrusted with the task of fashioning the tabernacle and all its sacred objects. The tabernacle was not the only item crafted from gold. The menorah, the mercy seat, known as Kapporeth, and the various utensils used in the temple and tabernacle, such as the ark, incense altar, and table for showbread, were also made of this precious metal. The meticulous work of the metal workers breathed life into these holy objects, infusing them with beauty, symbolism, and divine significance. Interestingly, references to metal workers can be found in ancient texts, including the lead books. Zechariah 1:18-21 mentions the presence of metal workers in a future temple. In Hebrew, the word used for metal workers is horsam, which can also be translated as workers of magic or silent ones. These lead tablets, inscribed with enigmatic writings, feature silence as a recurring theme that reverberates throughout their pages. Additionally, the lead pages shed light on the tumultuous times of King Josiah, a significant figure who ruled towards the end of the 7th century BCE. Inscriptions on the lead tablets indicate that it was in the year 622 BCE. during Josiah's campaign to purge Judah and Jerusalem of idolatry. That Jeremiah was called as a prophet. This historical fact is confirmed in Chronicles 34. Jeremiah's initial vision of a branch of an almond tree holds symbolic meaning. In Hebrew, the word for almond, saked, also means, I am watching. Thus, the almond serves as a sign of the Lord's high priest, who vigilantly watches over Jeremiah, the true high priest, as he faces danger. Although Jeremiah's first call vision is well known, his second vision, depicting a boiling pot, receives less attention. The Hebrew word for the boiling pot is also used to describe a smith at work, which raises the intriguing possibility that Jeremiah witnessed the melting down of metal. This connection between Jeremiah's vision and Josiah's purging efforts invites further exploration. Examining the reflections of Josiah's purgings, we encounter a passage where the Lord addresses him, saying, I have made you an assayer and tester among my people, that you may know and assay their ways. The bellows blow fiercely, and the lead is consumed by fire. Notably, the word bellows used in this context is the same word used to describe Jeremiah's boiling point. The Lord goes on to speak about the futility of refining the wicked, suggesting that wicked individuals were throwing lead into the fire during Josiah's purging. This implies that melting lead played a role in Josiah's efforts to cleanse the land from wickedness. When examining the lead tablet pages, Dr. Barker, an expert in the field, highlights the presence of archaic double letters on the left, alongside their equivalents in later Hebrew script on the right. These writings appear 7 times on a single page of the lead tablet, with each row featuring 2 instances of archaic double letters on the left and their later Hebrew equivalents on the right. This discovery provides valuable insights into the evolution of the Hebrew script and its usage. One particular character, either an aleph or a yon, holds intriguing possibilities when deciphering words within the lead tablets. When read as aleph yon ish shin, the word conveys the meaning, a man. However, it can also be read as aleph, you're an olive race and you're all, suggesting the word stream. Furthermore, a single letter can be interpreted as a double letter, allowing for the perception of an arm symbol. The flexibility and complexity of these characters contribute to the richness of their potential meanings. Dr. Barker further examines the depiction of the menorah on the lead tablet pages, noting that the characters can be written facing either left or right. Among these characters, there are 3 instances of the letters pronounced as dalit, or gimel. These characters have varying orientations, with one facing right and the other 2 facing left, albeit sideways. These arrangements add layers of significance and intrigue to the readings of the lead tablets. The large representation of the menorah on the oracle page symbolizes the temple's worldview. The characters positioned above the square and menorah represent heaven, while those below the menorah signify the earth. Each illustration on the lead tablets includes lines that provide insights into their placement within the temple. For instance, a character situated on the left side of the menorah, denoting either a shoot or a branch, can be observed growing upward from the earth area of the diagram into the Holy of Holies. Conversely, when viewed in reverse, as it descends from the Holy of Holies to the earth, it symbolizes divine favor. On the right side of the menorah, there is a mirror word for this character, signifying a shoot or a branch. As it ascends, it carries the message of my witness. However, as it descends, it conveys a different message, stating, the one who knows. These characters reveal that the person referred to as the branch, who is none other than the Messiah, serves as both the Lord's witness and as someone who enters the Holy of Holies, emerging with divine knowledge and favor. This aligns with Isaiah's words that describe the Messiah as a witness to the people. In conclusion, the lead books discovered in Jordan offer fascinating insights into the construction of the tabernacle, the role of metal workers who were also priests, and the symbolism and significance associated with the sacred objects housed within the temple. The lead pages also shed light on historical events, such as King Josiah's efforts to purge idolatry and the prophetic call of Jeremiah. The intricate characters and their meanings found within the lead tablets provide a glimpse into the evolution of the Hebrew script and offer intriguing interpretations. Ultimately, the lead books offer a unique perspective on the ancient world and deepen our understanding of the religious and cultural practices of that time.